Welcome, I'm the DeadwoodJedi. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. We are on the free-to-play on that road to Ultra Nightmare. Feeling pretty good today. I got a lot of rest yesterday. Slept a bunch. Enjoyed the Super Bowl, enjoyed spending time with the fam. So that was all good. And I made the chili this year and it was on point. It was very good. So I got a little Tupperware of that in the fridge. I'm glad to have that for the next couple days. Got my DeadwoodJedi cup. This one has a black lighting. Very nice. Coffee is not just delicious, but necessary. Anyway, day 32. We're in it. We got a rare book. It's so weird getting a rare book now because I'm just like, what? I don't need a rare book. Definitely not on my list of things I want at the moment, but it's still good. I can definitely put it to good usage. And we have CBC starting in less than a day. And you can see I do have some books accumulated. So this is actually going to be a good thing for me. I'm probably going to be dumping a bunch of books into Elva. I'm going to be probably dumping a bunch of books into Jareg. I got lots of epic champions that actually need books. So there is no shortage of the need of those books. It's just where am I going to put them? And then, as I had said before, yesterday, we have some interesting rares on the account. We've got Frozen Banshee, who's just such a key champion, right? Let's go here, right? She's so good. She's one of the best rare poisoners in this game. Now, there is a little bit of confusion about her. A lot of people say, she's the best poisoner. She's not the best poisoner. And one of the reasons why she has conditions on her poison. So you need the poison sensitivity to be up, and then you can add 2 poison debuffs to the target. So let's say she's going at a 1-1 ratio. One turn she puts up poison sensitivity. The boss goes. Now poison sensitivity is only up for 1 turn. Next turn she puts up 2 poisons. Great. But then the boss goes. Now the poison sensitivity is gone. In her 3rd turn, you can't put any poisons up because the sensitivity is not there. So there is a balance to being able to use her, right? Very good. There's limitations that you have to kind of take in mind. On top of that, she doesn't do a lot of damage, so a little bit hard to make her perfect. Where she is good, however, even as a rare champion outside of Clan Boss, and she's still insane for Clan Boss, don't get me wrong. She's an amazing champion for a rare champion. Just there are limitations you have to take into consideration. Where she's also amazing can be dungeon, specifically Spider, because she puts up a fair amount of poison, and you get a fair amount of turns in between Spider turns. So that is certainly somewhere where we could utilize her to really good effect. So I plan on building her anyway. And then of course we got her Kale, which is like a little bit too little too late kind of thing. Would have loved to have had him maybe 2 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, actually anytime before now. And the reason why he obviously puts up a bunch of big poisons, a bunch of little poisons, and he has a nice AoE heal and damage dealing ability. He's a really good champion. He's an interesting one because I do feel like I can build him up and utilize him in different areas of the game. I'm not sure how worthy of an investment that is at this point on my account, right? I'm looking for a pure poisoner. Frozen Banshee's kind of better, right? Or at least on the same wavelength. So that might be a better option. I don't know, I have some other options and I have a lot of other epics. So like, do I want to waste chickens on him, taking him to 6-star? Probably not. What I probably will do though, is take him up to 5-star, same like Frozen Banshee and a few of the other champions that I have on my account. I think right now my goal, because I do have 5 6-star champions, my new goal is to take the rest of my champions that I like and want to keep and hold on to up to 50, up to 5-star. And kind of make them, because at that point they're usable, right? Maybe they're not great, but they're usable, and that kind of prepares me for the next step. And at that point I can be like, okay, we're not opening shards every single day. I mean, maybe an ancient here and there, but we're not getting new champions that are good for the account every single day. So now I can start focusing on leveling up food and ranking up the champions that I do want to keep on this account. And I think that's the next goal, right? A little, I don't know what the best approach is, to be honest with you, but that I think is going to be the thing. Like, we're already hitting Dragon 20, so like the need I have on this account is very minor, right? My high school team's hitting 17, I think, or 18. Not bad. I need to push Fire Knight. I think we're up to like 17 as well, actually, or 18. so that's not bad. So I don't really have any need to improve any of my dungeon runs at the moment. Right now, I'm very comfortable just hitting dragon as far as where I'm getting my gear from. Dragon and spider is going to be my mainstay for a while. And the reason why is simple. I need accuracy and I need speed. We're talking about clan boss, where those are the most important things you can have, right? Accuracy and speed and survivability. So like there's stalwart gear in there, there's accuracy gear, there's lifesteal gear, there's speed gear. So everything I need for clan boss is going to be in dragon. There's two exceptions. One of those exceptions is obviously in Fire Knight. There's regen gear. Regen gear is really, really good. That could be very helpful in certain situations. Do I need it? Not for clan boss, not really at all. So I'm not really worried about that stat. The one that does have me intrigued though, and this is, I mean, this has, hashtag life goals, right? But I really want to put Venomage in a reflex set. Not Venomage. That's my bad. Not just Venomage. Not just Venomage. So I think he would be really good in that because obviously, you know, part of the thing is he puts up poisons and he activates them. If I can have him putting up the poisons more often, that's a good thing for us. And both his A2 and his A3 are going to be really essential. You know, A2 gives us the decreased defense and decreased attack. The A3 gives us those poisons and the heal reduction. If I can have him spamming those, I don't need the A1, right? The A1's not useful in this kit, really. So reflex would be good on him, but because he's squishier, I'm probably gonna end up going for something like stalwart or maybe even toxic to help it, add more poisons. Sorry, the champion I want in reflex, I think, is Jareg, because when you have a champion with one skill on a 4-turn cooldown, you put him in reflex gear, it tends to always happen on 3 turns or less. And if I can get that ability on 3 turns or less and bring in a buff extender like a Godseeker or Neri, I think I can effectively run on a 2-1 ratio with Jareg being my ally protection champion alone. I think. I probably won't keep everything up all the time, but I think I should be able to keep, you know, ally protection, increase defense up a majority of the time, which is really what I want. I can run Elva in that team. I can have plenty of healing in there. I feel like that's a really smart way to maximize Jareg's abilities in this clan boss team. So that's what I want to do. I haven't done that before. I haven't tested that. Like, it's a very new kind of approach. So I'm excited to see if that actually works or not. Because if it works, I think that could really do wonders for my team. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next one that comes out. And of course, if you enjoyed today's music, we have that link down below in the pinned comment and description of this video, and you can use code DeadwoodJedi, save yourself 15%. And of course, if you want some account work, you don't like doing the work yourself, I'm more than happy to do it for you. My team is at the beck and call. Just visit my website, DeadwoodJedi.com. Let's see where we've been as far as like tournaments and stuff, shall we? So we got the champion training tournament. I actually have a lot of points in this. I wasn't expecting it, but getting 2 champions to 6-star does a lot for you, surprisingly enough. Now the question is, am I going to be able to move anywhere in here? And I don't know. I'm kind of thinking probably not. I burned all my resources, so like I'm out of gems, I'm out of everything. And I still need to finish Minotaur. I have masteries on 4 of my champions. The only one that's missing masteries now is Jareg. I really want to get War Master on him so he can kind of hit that next level. It's gonna be a lot of Minotaur, so I gotta kind of evaluate what's more important right now, running Minnow or running something else here, right? And I think running Minnow's got to be the most important out of the options here, right? So that's kind of where I'm at thinking on that. I'd love to be able to compete a little bit harder on this, get an epic book or a legendary book, some really good reflex gear. It just might not be in the offing right now. You know, I find if you can't compete in these things, people are going to take it from you. 14 hours ago, those numbers are not static. They are definitely going to change. Everyone there is going to be like, "Ooh, I think I can snipe something," and they will try for sure. I don't think I got anywhere in any of these. Tag team tournament, I think I got 2nd place down here. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I think I showed that the other day. So yeah, not doing great and all that stuff. But we're advancing, we're going, we're still pushing along. I kind of want to YOLO that sacred shard, but I also think like this is a time to start saving. I've got my main 5, I got them up to level 60, I'm putting masteries on them. I can start saving now, right? Now I can start saving. And one of the reasons why I actually want to do that is I would have liked to have gotten this fusion for this account. I'm looking for a buff extender. This is a buff extender. Would have been good. I think, though, that it's fine to not get this one, but I do want to be ready for the next one. So now's the time for me to start saving some of the shards. Still YOLOing Ancients, because that's what I do. But the Sacreds, the Voids, those big bad boys that are going to benefit so much from those 2x events, I'm going to be holding on to those. Let's look at our rewards. Oh, I should go back here to Arena, because yes, we finished in Gold 3, guys, which is very cool, very exciting. So let's look at the trash that we got. 4-star pieces. Plarium, do better. Do better. This is not helpful to me, not helpful to anyone. I don't understand why that's even in this tier of rewards. It's ridiculous. This is not a week's worth of rewards. I'm just saying. I don't care if it's gold or it's platinum. Honestly, make these really good, and people might compete a little bit more in Arena to get a little higher. Just saying. Just a thought. I know it's crazy, but you know, think about that. Throw that out there for you guys. All right, that piece is decent. We can hold on to that. At least we got a little bit of gems. That's the energy refill and a shard. That's pretty dope. I finished in bronze again with the tag team. I wasn't really eager to rank up right now, so it's fine. That's not a problem. And then we got clan boss rewards coming in. Let's look at that. So Nightmare here. Oh, okay. Defense percentage with speed subset. Definitely a keeper. You know, it's one of those things. We can put defense or HP percentage boots on our champions as long as we can get the speed to stay in sync. And I feel like that's possible. Maybe a little bit tricky, but possible. So that was kind of a nice, not a bad boot drop. All right, so nothing crazy, but we're where we kind of want to be. I do got that one. Oh, I got two ancient shards. What was I saying about holding on to shards? Yes, let's YOLO. Let's YOLO. Couple ancient bad boys. I know a 2x is coming up pretty soon too. Probably should just save these as well. No patience. All right, couple champions I don't need. Oh, actually, I think I might need Sorceress. Or not for Rosin, not for Broadmoor. Ah, for Relic Keeper. Okay, we got all the champions we need for Relic Keeper now. So when that fusion comes up, I can do that. That's actually good. That's good to know. All right, let's jump into that clan boss team and see how it fares here. Boom. I like just being a quick start, not pay attention to it. I know a lot of people like the manually clan boss teams. I support that. I do. I'm not going to, but I support it. We're in a pretty good spot here, right? Like, we've got Deacon fully booked. We've got Venomage fully booked. Jarreg's almost fully booked. Basically, his A2's booked. He only takes 7 books. He's actually really, really nice in that sense. Rhonda doesn't have any books. Elva's needs more books, right? But pretty solid, I would say here. And that Brimstone, man, that's pretty clutch. We are landing it on Nightmare. I got Rhonda's accuracy, I think, up to like 150 now, so it's pretty close to where we want for Nightmare. Obviously, you know, typically I try to aim for at least 175 or 200, but 150 will do a decent job of landing the debuff. So, and with all the hits that she puts out there, it's not a bad number for her, right? And obviously that does just massive amounts of bonus damage for us. So what we're looking here on Nightmare, you know, you need 40 million to get top chest. So we're looking to get around 14 or 15 million damage on Nightmare, and that should keep us in a safe 2-key range, right? Or 3-key range, right? You know, if we're doing like 11 or 12 million damage, probably gonna fall a little bit short depending on the RNG of the runs. If I can keep the runs at like that 15 mark, we're in really good shape there. So I'm hopeful that we're gonna stay there. One thing I have been noticing is our teams are surviving considerably longer right now. I did make a concerted effort to try to get everybody's defense a little bit higher. Venomage is still probably the weakest out of the champions, but I want everybody's defense to be around 2,000 right now. Eventually I'd want that to be around 3,000 is kind of where we want to aim for. But it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, especially with Rhonda being a really attack-based champion. But, you know, when you factor in accessories and stuff, getting up to 3,000, 2,500, that sort of thing isn't as bad. And this is one of those areas where in a traditional team, I really like to use Stalwart where I can, right? And also one of the reasons why lifesteal has been so outdated at this point. You know, I have a leech champion and deacon in here. I don't need lifesteal. Leech is doing all the healing I need. It's basically the same thing, right? I just want to hit decently hard. And most of the time with lifesteal, you're waiting on the War Master procs anyway, not the actual raw damage from your champion. So for me, I'm like, I don't have to worry about healing. Now, you know, this is also one of the reasons why I'd be nervous to take deacon out of the team. That leech is really helpful. It does a lot of work for us, right? So if I was going to bring somebody else in, I'd really want it to be somebody like a Godseeker Neri who provides healing on her own also. So between Jareg, Elva, and Godseeker, now we have enough healing to keep this team alive. At least I think. And on a 2-1 ratio, should work, but you know. So that would be the idea behind that. But with this team, you know, with that, we don't really need lifesteal with the leech out there. And so that is a buff, a debuff. I think that is extremely valuable early on. Not being forced to use a certain set really opens up the possibilities when getting good pieces is a pretty high bar. It's pretty hard to regulate what pieces are going to be good or not, and from what sets, right? So early on, we can do mix sets, we can do offsets, and we can do all sorts of things to get us to where we want to be. I also think, you know, probably long term, Rhonda will end up being replaced, right? I mean, if I can ever do the rosin fusion, it's an ideal replacement, right? Not only do we bring a multi-hit attack champion that does a lot of damage, defensive based one, and one that will bring weaken as a debuff. That'll really jump our damage up as well, right? I had somebody ask me, how does Rhonda hit so hard? Well, I built her to hit hard. I did not build her to survive though. And that's kind of the trade-off, right? Like, what's more important, hitting hard in the time frame that we're alive, or surviving longer and hitting maybe a little bit less hard but for more attacks? That's the part where you have to weigh it, right? Back in the day, I was always like, let's let them survive as long as possible. And if you're dealing passive damage like poisons or HP burn, that makes a little more sense. The longer you last, the more damage you do. But once you have champions that are actually having crit rate and crit damage on, and I have crit damage gloves on Rhonda, so she should hit hard. Once you have that, all of a sudden the math changes a little bit, right? She's doing about 60,000 damage a turn. Pretty good damage, right? I mean, the poisons do what, 25,000, right? So it's not like, or 50,000, something like that. She's not far off doing a poison damage herself, and she gets a lot of ally attacks in there, right? Like there's a lot of things kind of going on. So she's pretty sweet when it comes to like actually doing damage, right? Like, even when she's only doing 10,000 damage a turn, she does that three of those over and over and over again. Got like 4 attacks in there. That's a lot of damage. And so, you know, for me, building her to hit hard makes a lot of sense, especially because I use her in other areas, right? Like she's my arena nuker. I definitely need her to be more offense friendly. And so that for me, that's the key right now, is like just maintaining that. And you know, give me some books and we'll see how well she does, right? I guess that's her A1 is doing the 10K. The A2 is the one doing 20K a pop. So, you know, and let's put some books in her and she'll be doing even more. She's definitely got some good potential for this team. I've actually been really happy with her. Very surprised, but very happy in my surprise state. As you can see, like we're healing full up. A lot of that is the leech, to be sure. Like let's not discount that. But we're surviving. It's turn 20. We've done 12.5 million damage. We're still surviving. We're still doing really well. Now imagine if I could put reflex on Jareg and we can keep those abilities up full fight. Because one of the issues with Jareg in this team is his ally protection is great, but his increased defense is tied to it. So we're way tankier when he actually is protecting everybody. When he's not protecting anybody, we have no protection out there. We have no increased defense. And that is one of the more valuable buffs you can bring in. So getting him like built up, real important. So that's why one of the things I do want to do is farm a little bit of Ice Golem, see if we can't get, I just need 4 good pieces, just 4 good pieces of Ice Golem. And maybe I can run him in reflex gear. It's a crazy thought. It was like so left field for me when it comes to clan boss teams and constructing a team, but I was like, oh, this might work. It might work. And I'm really hoping it does. So that's my new current plan, which is pretty wild. This is a pretty good team though. 15 million. Nobody's died yet, which is amazing. Almost 15 million damage, turn 24. It's obviously going to keep ramping up, so this is not going to be easy, but we're in pretty good shape here. We're in pretty good shape. Still haven't died. That was the AoE, so that means we should be able to survive at least through the next stun. You know, if we can survive this next AoE, which I don't anticipate any issues with, we need to get decreased. No, we don't have decreased attack out there. That could be a problem. And this is where I would love to have Jareg have a little bit of accuracy so he could supplement what Venom Age does. Okay, so we only lost Deacon. That doesn't seem to be a problem to me. I think we're gonna be okay. Brought Deacon back. Failed, so we won't get targeted here. Great. Venom Age went down. That's not good. That's not good. This now it looks less good. Now it's looking less good, guys. So okay, so if I can have that decreased attack more consistent, I think we would be able to have everybody up at this. Well, that hit hurt though, even with the decreased attack. Ugh. Yeah. We need way more defense on these guys. I can just feel it. It's like our defense is just a little too low. Our defense, our attack hurts just a little bit. Okay, well, we land a decreased attack from Jareg. One of the things I'm trying to do is get more accuracy on him as well. Jareg going down is definitely not good. Definitely bad. We are 18 million damage, turn 30. We lasted to turn 30. That's significant for sure. If it's not consistent, at least we know we can last that long. 18.5 million damage. Pretty good. That's pretty good. Remember, what we need for a 2 key is 20 million. So we're real close to that. We're really close to that. So this is not a bad sign. I feel like we're definitely on the right path here. You know, there can be some... I got to think about ways I can make this a little better. I think accuracy is going to be the big thing. A little bit more on Rhonda, a little bit more on Jareg will help a lot. That's a pretty good results right there. Pretty good. I'm not upset with that. 18 million or so. That's pretty solid. But yeah, I feel like our team's in good progress. We're doing things the right way. We're advancing the way we want to. And so that's where we're at right now. Pretty good all in all. So I'm excited to see where we can get to. I really want to get those rest of those masteries. We've got CVC coming up, so that's going to be a big challenge. I got to do some forging, a lot more 3v3. You know, trying to get points at this low level is actually pretty hard. And obviously we want to hit the top, you know, clan rewards at least, right? And so that's going to be the goal. It's going to be the goal. Guys, thanks so much for sticking around till next we meet. The Deadwood Jedi.